Hello and welcome to Real World Leadership. I'm your host, Susan Johnson, founder of Truth Enterprise Partners, a consulting and coaching business based in the Atlanta area. And I'm so happy to be here with you today on another episode of Real World Leadership, where we have real world leaders come in and speak, tell their stories about what's happening with them in leadership so you can learn from them. So there might be something good, something bad that has happened, but they're going to share and be really vulnerable with you in this moment. And I'm excited to be with you to share a story with our guest speaker today. So today we have Coach Sandy B. Her real name is Sandra Barker-McIntosh, but she does go by Coach Sandy B, and she's the founder of 90 Day Wins. She's an executive coach like myself, and we've done some partnerships in the past. And I'm excited to have her here to speak with you to tell her real world leadership story. This is her lesson in leadership. So, Sandy, why don't you give a little bit of intro to the audience and then let's hear your story?
Thank you so much, Susan, for having me here. So, my story, I I'm crazy enough to believe that you can achieve goals every 90 days. With my business, 90 Day Wins Coaching, and my podcast, I talk to goal getters. These are people who are committed to achieving their goals, understanding that there will be challenges and obstacles along the way, but they have a burning desire to bring whatever it is to life, whether it's transitioning to a new role or moving into the entrepreneur space. I help them build that confidence, work on the habits that can improve so they will stop procrastinating and take action. No more talking about what you're going to do, Susan, actually taking action to do so.
Well, wonderful. And I can receive that message right now. And just getting back to some of the podcasting things that I've been wanting to do for a while. So I think a lot of people could benefit from what you offer. And, for especially those people that are on the fence about something that they want to get done, they can get that done in 90 days. So
That's
thanks
it.
for sharing a little bit about your business. I'm curious about the story. I heard a little bit about it. Uh, but I want to hear a little bit more about your lesson in leadership and what you want to share with our audience today.
Sure, sure. So I understand that it's so important to think about how you in leadership are helping people feel.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that you have an opportunity as a leader to do your part to make the time that you are spending together one that is in the best way you can, that's productive but also fulfilling, and that's easier said than done. So my story, I had these employees that we were working through different challenges, and we were working the 90-day process that I put together. And one of the ladies, she was looking to complete her master's program, and the other one was working on her marriage. And
Mm-hmm.
what I was able to do is encourage them not only to complete their day-to-day work, which they were stellar at doing, to the point where we were working with other groups to make sure they were meeting deliverables so we can do our work. And I realized these ladies were so dynamic, but they were wanting to do more. And sometimes you can't easily give your employees work to do. So I found a way that we could have discussions about their work and what they were doing, but also bring some empathy in their personal lives and allow for them to share with me what they were experiencing, and how we could literally take this same framework to say in every 90 days we had to report for SEC reporting. So what
Mm-hmm.
if you put the same energy in preparing for this wedding or preparing to complete your master's? So we would have these lunch and learns, and we would talk about our deliverables that we had to get done, with accounting every month you're reporting, right?
Yeah,
But then we
quarterly.
would spend 5 minutes and they would give updates not only to the work that they were doing with the company, but they were keeping accountable to their personal things. And what I learned about this, Susan, is when you allow people to come with their whole self to
Mm-hmm.
work, and allow for your humanness to show, you are able to get people who are willing to work with you, who are willing to show up and go above and beyond because you have shown them that you care about them. You care about their whole person. It's not like you're getting into very specific things about what they have going on. It's just what they're comfortable with sharing, but you're letting them know as a leader that you see them besides the matrix that you guys are working towards.
Right. So your ability to see the person outside of the work, it sounds like that was coming up in conversations at some point where you learned that, somebody's getting married or someone's working on their master. So,
Yes,
people are coming to perform at work, but they're also bringing other things outside of work with them too. And that's the interesting thing about leadership too. You have the personal side, I mean,
yes.
it's just not, you know, producing something like widgets
Mhm.
or these things on a conveyor belt where you're just processing, but there's a human element of the people that you're learning
Yeah,
and learning how to bring that forward and them being comfortable in bringing that forward because it impacts their productivity.
it does definitely. And even now, when I am coaching leaders and they are expressing the need to connect with employees, everyone is feeling the pressure. I think a lot of times employees think that, oh, this manager just wants us to come back to work, where in truth, the manager doesn't even want to be in the office, right? So it's
Could
how
be.
can we,
Yeah. I
so
mean,
how
we're human, right? So yeah, it makes sense.
So being able to have those conversations and just be truthful, say, we all wish we could be at home working,
Yeah.
but this is what we are required to do. This is what we're tasked to do. And oh, by the way, we get the pleasure of having hybrid. So let's make the best of it while we're here. Let's
Hmm.
choose to be pleasant. Let's choose to show up and show out. And it's
Okay.
interesting when you allow for that energy to change the mindset of what's going on around. And I love to see when a department is able to be that change and then it just has that effect on the other departments because it's like, what's going on over there? Why are you
Hmm.
guys happy? We're in the
Uh-huh.
office and you guys are happy. Well, we just had that meeting and we talked about how we're doing, and then we're going to do something else. So it's just giving that balance to let the people know that you see them and you understand. You may not be able to make a change, but by you just letting them know that you're with them and you are aware of what's going on. I think when we try to act like we don't know what's going on, like everything's okay when it truly isn't, I think
Right.
that's where issues come into play.
Right. Or are you're trying to keep work separate from that whole person coming in? I have boundaries around these. It sounds like you made some decisions to welcome that into your team so people feel more comfortable. Um, and again, a group consensus around I would rather be
Yes.
fishing or rather be feet up on the sofa. But
Yeah.
I have to work today, so how can I make my work have meaning and have my work be more fun?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have some more balance, so it doesn't feel like drudgery.
It does. That's
Yeah.
very important because everyone's complaining about something or the other, right? So will
Hmm.
you join the bandwagon to complaining? Because I find that when you allow yourself to go down those roads, and especially with like the group people, right? So everyone in the office is miserable. And so
Oh,
it's like, am I going to allow myself to be a part of that, or can I find a way to have that spark of light? Just
be
that
the
little
light.
thing that can, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah, so yeah, you're always walking into these spaces and you read the room, you read the environments, and you have a choice to make. Do I want to get down in the mud or do I want
yeah,
to
yeah.
lift the room up? Being
And
that light walking into the room. Love
yeah,
that.
and I've done some little experiments, personal experience, something as simple as, and I've had clients do this too, and it's amazing. So something as simple as dressing up and coming to work and just coming with that energy. It's like, well, why are you all dressed up today?
Uh-huh.
It's nice and sunny outside and I'm feeling pretty bright. How about you?
Uh-huh.
And then you literally, you don't hear anything, but you see people start dressing up, people start
Okay.
doing different things. So it's like you have a great opportunity to make that change happen by you just mirroring it, right? So you're doing it. You're getting up with excitement to say, "Yeah, I'm excited to have that meeting today because we hit our goals and we're going to celebrate." So you as a leader can do things to help you on that journey to, bring some lightness into the
Mm-hmm.
place because
Mm-hmm.
it's just so much negativity. It really is.
Okay. I loved you being the sunshine at work and bringing that
Yes.
light in every
Yeah.
day. And that's an important lesson to share with our audience too, that you can bring that energy, you can bring that light into the room and set the tone
Yeah.
and watch the change, mirror the change you want to see and watch the change take effect. So great lessons to share there. And I appreciate you sharing that with us today, as well as finding the balance between work and life,
Yeah.
welcoming that in to the workplace, having conversations about it with your teammates, with your employees on how they can integrate work and life. And then, you talked about the humanist part of leadership, to really see them, to really hear them, to incorporate that into the integration of, again, the work-life balance,
Yeah.
and it being okay to do so. Good. Good. So those are some takeaways from the conversation that I received.
Yeah.
Was there anything that we missed that you wanted to share with our audience as we prepare to close?
I would just encourage your audience to think about what you want to achieve and then get to work on it. It's never too late to
Yeah.
achieve another goal and get another win. So that's what I would share.
Okay. Love it. So that's a great way to segue into our closing. Again, thank you for being here. We appreciate those nuggets, those words of wisdom. And your business is 90 Day Wins. You can find Sandra B, Coach Sandy, at 90daywins.com and on socials at 90 Day Wins. So you can find her there. And if you have any questions for me, you can also reach me on socials at Truth Enterprise Partners. And we look forward to hearing from you with your questions, your comments, or just put them in the chat as well. And we'll respond to those comments as we see them. So thank you again. And thank you all for joining us. This has been Real World Leadership. I'm your host, Susan Johnson, and we'll see you again real soon.